Hey guys, it's me, Rusty 78609, Central Texas, USA. It's about 6:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. Temperature, 70-ish. Sun setting in the west, as usual. Isn't that a surprise? That has not changed. But I just was sitting here having a beer or two, possibly three, getting close. And I was thinking about an old friend of mine. His name was Mike Pavlik. And he had gone, I met him in 1990, I guess. And he's a hell of a good man. And his wife had just died. He was hanging out in bars. Naturally, that's how I met him, because I was hanging out in bars too. And anyway, we became friends. And he had been to Army language school. Could speak 4 or 5 languages fluently. And after about 3 or 4 years, we became close friends. He played harmonica, and he played it pretty well. Played it so well that some of the bands around in the area where we were at that time, Round Rock, Texas, they wanted him to play the harmonica, and he did. And I would go and listen, and sometimes I'd had an old 1979 Chevrolet pickup I was driving, and he and I would hit the bars, and he'd play the harmonica while we were riding around, and I thought that was the greatest thing in the world. And sing songs. Damn, he came up with some of the craziest shit I never heard of it. And here's one of them. I always love this one of my favorites. Down through the barnyard she staggered, staggered and fell at the door. These were the last words she uttered. I'll never get drunk anymore. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Anyway, that was one of his biggies. And we'd sing that damn song and ride around. He drank vodka. And he always had a pint or a half pint in his boot, cowboy boot. And he'd pull it out every now and take a slug, either chase it with water or a Sprite. He always wanted a Sprite. And anyway, I'm sure he's dead now. I haven't seen him or heard of him in a long time. He was probably 15 years older than I was. So now he'd be 86 if he was still alive, which I doubt. But anyway, and here's another one he came up with, if I can think of it. Uh, Oh, I asked her if she'd stop and talk, stop and talk, stop and talk. Her feet covered up the whole sidewalk. She was plain to see. Buffalo gal, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Come out tonight. Buffalo gal, won't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon? Anyway, those were some great songs that he taught me, and he was a hell of a good old man. And I've gone through my life meeting characters like Mike and others. And there was an old boy in Victoria, I'll just give his first name. His name was Elmer. And old Elmer was harder than pavement. And old World War II veteran. And he was the commander of the VFW in the USA for a year or two, whatever they called it. I don't remember his title, but he he was harder than pavement. And when I tell you that, I mean it, because you could not change Elmer's mind on anything. Once he made up his mind, that was a fact. If not, he ain't moving. But he's the one that came up with the phrase, or the first time I heard it. We were driving down the street one day in a place, and there were some irritating people behind us in the vehicle, and he reached over and pulled out a 357 Magnum pistol, and we were driving a Lincoln Town Car. That was a very expensive car at that time. Or he was driving, I was a passenger, and he laid it where he'd get his hand on it. And I said, Elmer, what are you fixing to do? He said, well, this thing here, he held up that weapon, and he said, this is the mind changer. And that's where I got that phrase from. He said, because whenever I pointed at them, they always changed their mind. But he went on one step farther, or I changed theirs. But anyway, that's the group I grew up with, or got older with. And I have to tell you, I feel like a blessed man, having known those hard men. And others, there's more, but I won't get into those. Some of them you'd have difficulty understanding. But be that as it may, it's a beautiful sunset, and I thought I'd just do this quick video while I was having my, I don't know, sometimes does alcohol give you strength or does it make you weaker? I guess it depends on who you are. I'm me. How y'all doing? But anyway, having said all that happiness, I'll end this video. It's a beautiful evening here in Central Texas. And I think about all the people that live in the cities all over the world that don't have this opportunity to sit here like me in this perfect silence and watch a sunset. And, you know, there's not much I can do about it. Nothing, actually. But I can understand why some people get a little pissed off. I mean, we're not meant to live in cities where we're packed in like sardines. I don't think we are, in my opinion. My opinion's worth zero. But what we really face worldwide as we speak here today is a clash of cultures. And I'm not too sure how that's going to end up. Reason is you cannot force integration. You can't. It doesn't work. Never has, never will. You cannot force people to accept a different culture. Because what happens is, you'll see it all over the world, even though there's different cultures in a society, they all congregate in one little community where they feel safe and enjoy their own culture. Is there anything wrong with that? Absolutely not. But we're not going to force people to go the Christian way or the Muslim way or the Hindu way or the Buddhist way or any other way. It's just going to, it's like friction. It's just going to cause some friction, and we'll just have to deal with it as we can. But one of the things I will say, we are a country of laws, and that is our strength. When we begin to abandon those laws or bend them for the convenience of certain groups, you know, such things as profiling. There's nothing wrong with profiling. If you know a certain group is doing certain things, profile the crap out of them. Having said all that, I feel better now. Down through the barnyard she staggered, staggered and fell at the door. These were the last words she uttered: I'll never get drunk anymore. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Anyway, you guys have a good evening. I just felt like doing that because that's the kind of guy I am. Thumbs up. Carpe diem, adios. Enjoy your life the best you can. Oh, buy American made when you can too. And if you can't, do like I do. Buy the best you can. Make it yourself. Hell, I've done that. Bye.